We're Robin and Steve. We left off in the whirlpools of the Whitsundays on Hazelwood Island, land of the Nuttall people. The land here is slowly regenerating from damage caused by sheep farming. And here in the water, there were things going on for some turtles. This turtle had been floating off our boat for some time. I was worried that it was suffering from floating syndrome, which occurs when sea turtles ingest plastics. But soon it became evident that this was not just one turtle, but two, hopefully working on making the next generation. One glassy morning, we set off into the thick whirlpools created by the fast-flowing currents in this area. We timed it so that the current was with us. For reference, we normally go at about 5 knots. We were off to explore Thomas Island, with its walking trail roughly marked with plastic bottles suspended from trees. Just off Thomas Island is Young Tom, a tiny islet, which we walked around and then kayaked around. We were now leaving the Whitsundays area, bound for the beautiful Snorkelled Island. We'd snorkeled here a few years ago. Back then the coral wasn't looking super healthy. 3 years on, it still looked worryingly sick, with only small patches of healthy coral. I did a coral survey for Coral Watch Australia, and apparently this area had not been surveyed through them before. Hopefully you can see that it's a mix. Back on land, I found an excellent rock, smooth and flat, for some much needed handstand practice. I enjoyed stable land while I could. It was to be an upwind battle to get to the Percy Island group. We tacked away from Snorkelled Island with other boats. This one looked quite majestic against the sunrise. It wasn't long before Steve put another reef in the mainsail, because being overpowered when going upwind is not comfortable. We zigzagged our way towards Middle Percy Island, sailing Mecca. It had been a rough day. Even the magic of dolphins couldn't fix our freshly torn sail. This genoa had come with the boat, so it's pretty old, and all this upwind sailing has taken its toll, giving us the opportunity to explore the herringbone stitch. Dive the needle down through the tear, up through the good sail on one side, pulling the needle through slowly so as to allow for a loop, through which to duck the needle through, and then repeat on the other side. Down through the tear, up through the sail. Pull through slowly, then dive through the loop. And repeat the other side, then repeat the other side. It's not fast. Finally, behold! The herringbone stitch. And once some tape was added to spread the load, we could use this sail again. But, spoiler alert, this sail is going to rip again in the future, giving us the opportunity to explore the backstitch. But this repair passed the test of time. That done, we could explore Middle Percy Island. It's become a bit of an exhibition centre of memorabilia from boats who've passed through here over the years. Fun to poke around, since every item has a story. Not that we know what those stories are. We did wonder about Loanna. The first boat we sailed together was called Loanna. After a quick siesta in the hammock, we explored the lagoon by kayak. It was quite rolly, but Steve had to go up the mast. Luckily, while sailing, our genoa had been reefed, but when taking it down to repair the sail, it turned out that this shackle had also broken, leaving the halyard at the top of the mast. So I got some arm exercise while Steve got waved about at the top of the mast. This is why we always have a spare halyard. Suspended by the spare halyard, Steve could retrieve the genoa halyard. We celebrated that job done by doing the loop track, which includes a bit of a meditation maze. Once metamorphized with enlightenment, we carried on. We bumped into the lovely caretakers who were doing a bit of track work. They told us how they get by here, with their few local animals and vegetables, decorative peacocks, and delicious honey, which we tried and liked. Can you see the snake? It was well camouflaged, so watch your step. We packed up our old genoa so that we could test our spare genoa that came with the boat and which we'd never used. It was beautiful, but it turned out the UV strip was on the wrong side for this furler. It wouldn't matter for this short distance. It was a full sail with no tears. We weren't sure where we were tacking to this time. We were pretty slow, with wind and sometimes currents against us, and then some thick algal blooms to pass through. Our plan A had been to get to Lady Musgrave Island, which has a lagoon, but in sailing it's good to have a plan B and C. It was going to be the wrong tide to enter Lady Musgrave Lagoon, so we went to Heron Island. Plan B turned out to be excellent. We'd never been to this world-famous marine reserve, and we were the only sailing boat there. So this was beyond a dream come true. We were moored just off the wreck of the HMAS Protector, one of Australia's first Navy ships, before it collided with a tugboat. But we were here at Heron Island for the wildlife.
Five.
This area is famous for its forests of staghorn and other branch corals, which have deteriorated within the last 6 months, as confirmed by my latest coral survey, according to Coral Watch Australia. That sad news aside, there's still a lot to see here, and we spent many hours each day in the water. I'm going to leave off with some wildlife encounters, including piles of rays and an octopus with a friend. Enjoy spending a bit more time in the waters around Heron Island. Join us next episode if you'd like more time in the Great Barrier Reef.